Hello, hello. Welcome and a very sunny afternoon. Great to see you all here to the talk, Female Voices from Switzerland and Austria. My name is Bianca Jasmina Rauch. I'm a film critic and film scholar, and I'm very happy to moderate this panel today with two awesome guests who will come to the stage in a second. It's Maria Brendle, director and screenwriter of Frieda's Fall. Please come to me and give a warm applause. And Alexandra Makarová, screenwriter and director of PERLA. Yes, please get comfortable here and take some refreshing drinks. Thank you to the festival for providing it. So we met before our talk, and we thought it's a great idea to show the two trailers of you. So because you in the audience probably won't have had the chance to see the films yet, or maybe some of you, because they hadn't had the premiere at, not both of them, in München yet. So we will show the trailers, but before I will say a few words about you and your work and introduce you shortly. And I think those two films we talk about together today are in a topic or in a panel because you two have two really powerful and also interesting characters, ambivalent, who are very against, let's say, convention. So you have not the typical stereotyped characters, but something else. And that's also what we want to talk about today. So Maria, you're a screenwriter and director based in Zurich, and you are known also for your short film, À la Cachu, Take and Run.
À la Cachu.
À la Cachu, thank you. And it received an Academy nomination in 2022. And now Frieda's Case, or Frieda's Fall in German, is your feature film debut. And it was released in Swiss theaters in January already and had its premiere in October in Zurich Film Festival.
Right.
And Alexandra, you're a screenwriter and director based in Vienna, and you're and mixing a bit of German words in between, but I think and is very close, so you know what I want to say. You had your first film, your feature debut, Crush My Heart, at Zerschlag mein Herz in German in 2018, and it was also shown in numerous festivals. And PERLA is your second feature film. It premiered in Rotterdam in January and was just released in Austrian cinemas in April, and now it will in French, and it will have will be and also it will be released now after the FilmFest in Germany. And yeah, I think both of the films got wide critical acclaim, and we also had festival journeys, so maybe we'll get also into that. And yeah, now we'll see the trailers first, and then we'll start our talk. And also, you were invited to ask questions, so if it's something that's really pressing about the things we're talking right now, you can also just wave or show your hand, and we have a microphone also for the audience. And yeah, so please show us the first trailer. Thank you.
Jesus Christus, Julia!
Sind wir arm? Doktor povedal. Zahl doch einfach die Stunden.
Zvládneme to tak či tak. Dobře?
Nicht gerade subtil.
Subtil ist was für Weicheier.
Und das sind Sie bestimmt nicht.
Sie etwa?
Was nicht? Wie hast du ihn kennengelernt? Julias Vater?
Ich hab dir gesagt, ich will nicht über die Vergangenheit sprechen.
Perla?
Máš teda číslo?
Chcem vidieť svoju dceru. Len kvôli nej som tu celé dierky prešiel.
A ja som všetko prežila len kvôli nej.
Hast du was mit deiner Flucht zu tun?
Ich bin nicht geflohen.
Liebst du diesen Mann noch?
Nein. Ich muss es machen. Ich muss zurück.
Sina. traue dem Typen nicht.
Ja, der Lupe.
Siehst du nicht, dass sich der manipuliert?
Du verstehst das nicht. Du bist nicht von hier. Du liebst mich nicht. Ah, nein!
La super dziewaczo!
Niemand hätte von der Schande erfahren, die auf mir lastet. Vielleicht versteht irgendjemand, wie ich zu dem Unmensch geworden bin, wo ich heute bin.
Ich habe mir anders vorgestellt.
Wölf tarnt sich gerne im Schafpelz.
Da ist eine Mörderin, Erna, eine Mörderin!
Sie wissen nicht, was Frieda alles durchgemacht hat.
Was hat sie denn durchgemacht? Die Mutter, die das eigene Kind umbringt.
Was hat er für eine Zukunft gehabt? Das Leben kann grausam sein, grausamer als der Tod.
Aber es wäre doch ja nicht so weit gekommen, wenn der Kindsvater so unterstützt hätte.
Der Vater hat Frieda davon gejagt, wo sie geschwängert worden ist.
Geschwängert von wem?
Der Kopf wird rollen, das ist so sicher wie Zahn wieder Kinder.
Es liegt in der Hand von ein paar wenigen Männern, ob unser Gesetz im Sinn von Gerechtigkeit ausgelegt wird.
Wie soll sich denn was ändern, wenn niemand einen ersten Schritt macht?
Helfen Sie mir, damit ich Ihnen helfen kann.
Ich brauche keine Hilfe.
Die Beschuldigte wollte sich ihrer Last entledigen. Wenn eine Mutter ihr Kind umbringt, dann hat dies tiefliegende Gründe. Gründe, die aufzeigen, dass in unserer Gesellschaft etwas falsch läuft. Helfen Sie mir, dass die plagende Frau am Leben bleiben kann.
Du darfst nicht aufgeben.
Erst muss sich das Denken ändern, dann die Gesetze.
Thank you. Yeah, Alexandra, Sashi, I'll start with you. So we want to get a little bit into your work process of how you develop these characters. And so in your case, you're telling the story of PERLA, who lives in Vienna, who is in exile, and who went away, who fled communism in Czechoslovakia, and an incident, like we saw in the trailer, her past kind of calls her back. And I saw the film a few times, and I was very impressed how you put together different layers of present, past, of political systems, of mother, and a person who is not in these typical mother images. And so there's a lot of things. And yeah, I wanted to ask you how all this came about, how you started this process, and how long did it take, and yeah, and because there's also personal background involved.
I have to make it really quick, which is not my biggest Stärke. Strength, yeah. So I think the seed or the first idea why I wanted to tell this story is because I come from a family of dissidents who fled Russia in 1917, and my great-grandfather was then in Gulag for 10 years, so it of course traumatized the whole family, even the town they lived in, because he was the doctor of the town. So the story is about people who had to face situations like this in political systems or non-democratic systems. They always interested me because it's a situation I cannot really imagine. I'm so privileged where I live, but I come from this family, and they talked about it I remember it when I was a child. It's even now, my grandmother, she's 90 now. She talks about it a lot, about the camp, about Siberia, about how he couldn't eat anymore, about her mother when she was a child and they were displaced. So I think that my interest is always for stories like this, political stories. And then I have a very, very difficult relationship with my mother, who's also a painter like PERLA. until now. So, and she was very young when she got me, and I think that I just wanted to discover or try to discover why she wasn't the mother I wanted and all of my friends had, because she was so different, and she's until now. So the writing process started from a very personal point of view and then changed a lot. And also in Austria we have a script writing contest. Is it called contest?
Competition.
Competition, yes. Where you should develop a strong, I don't like the term, we can talk about it later, we already did, strong female character. And I really was into it to not be too soft on her and on me. And also I hate dull or boring characters. When they have to be boring, then it's okay, but it's also, this is very difficult to write a boring character on purpose. So for me it was important that she's very ambivalent and that I'm tough with her, and I put her in situations which maybe someone cannot understand why she's doing this. So that was a big struggle during the pre-production and financing. Many people said she's so unsympathetic. Why is she doing it? And of course, if a man, a father, cares for his child, he's the best father. When he goes to work, he provides for the family. But when a woman does, it's completely different. But it's in with every characters, I think we judge them differently. So it was tough with her.
Yeah, I think this is still a common thing to judge female characters if they're not likable, or I think
what is likable?
Yeah,
I mean, it's for
like
everyone
in a classic,
yeah.
right? Yeah, and I think also Maria, you can connect to this, because you also said you had reactions like that your character is not the classic likable character, and this also was some, yeah, topic regarding the development of the script, which there was already a first draft, but then you came into the project.
Yeah, it was a bit different, my journey with Frieda. I got the offer to do the film, so I didn't know anything about the case before I got the call, do you want to make this film? And I was super interested in showing a mother who's able to kill the child. So yeah, she is a victim of the time. It's 1904, a victim of the time, but she's able to do something, killing a 5-year-old child. And I was super interested in building this character and go this journey. Like, yeah, we all know 1904, it was a hard time being a woman. And yeah, so I was interested in all the female characters. So I saw the first script, or I saw the script I got, and the first thing I wanted to do is fulfill all the female characters with life. So I thought it should be very important to build something like a female alliance between all the characters, like a non-verbal understanding what it is in your everyday life, dealing with the topics the women had to deal with in this time. So I really had fun to build out all these female characters and like the non-verbal relationships between them and this blind understanding of being a woman.
Yeah, in this sense, your film feels also very contemporary, because we have a lot of different voices. Of course, there's the protagonist, but still it feels like these are topics that we can connect to today. And yeah, I was wondering also for the both of you, because you have different time periods, or like yours is of course very much more in the past, how you approached these characters in, or also the whole story in this certain topic and time. Yeah, how did you approach the research process or the getting into the characters?
Yeah, I had luck, because a lot of research was done until the day I came into the project. So there was a lot of work from the other authors writing the script, doing the research, and this case is a true case. You can go and do a lot of research because it's well-known, documented. So a lot of work has been done until the moment I came. So I had kind of the luck to just build up the creative part and fulfill the characters and knowing that I can call someone, how has it been in 1904, how should that be? But yeah, it's not always easy because when it comes to making the movie and directing, so suddenly there are little questions. How does a woman say hi to a man? So all these little things you don't think about when it's just written and you have all this law and the law changed and okay, a woman has to wear a hat and all these things are clear, but small things are coming into the project and you have to deal with that until the very ending.
Yeah, I can imagine you always have to be very clear on it and see all the details in the work with the actors also. Sashi, your film is set in the 80s. Maybe you also you could tell us a little bit about this setting and why you chose the 80s and what importance does it have for the character in the film?
I'll come to that, but I'm a big researcher. Is this, I don't know if this word even exists. So I love doing research, but for me it was very important from the beginning, but in every department we discussed this a lot, because you have so many films, no matter the budget, it can have like the biggest Hollywood budget, and you don't believe the time. So it has, of course, always something to do with money, but also with a vision. And for us it was important that you feel the time emotionally. So it's important to say that it's not a documentary film. Still it's a fiction film. So until you feel the time in your emotions and you believe the characters, and I think the characters do a lot. It's not only about set design. It's about how people behaved. So you asked why in the 80s. Also, the people in Western Europe behaved differently in public areas, in public transport or outside their houses. They were, because everyone was listening and you could not tell your opinions, and they could not travel. So, and in Austria they behaved totally different. They could travel. It was 1968 when the Russians or the Soviet army attacked Czechoslovakia, and the reason why I chose this time, the 1980s, is because I wanted to tell a story about a female character who was a student, so she was very young in 1968, and this was a generation which, I don't know why, but it breaks my heart when I think about this generation, because there was the Prague Spring, and it was a big student movement, and they were thinking, okay, we can change something, we can open the borders or maybe soften the regime, and then from one day to another it just ended, and all of the hope of these very young people who fought for their freedom and for whatever they wanted to do in their life, it was over. So and PERLA was one of them, so that's why it's set in the 80s, because we are then 12, 13 years later. Yeah.
And also there's PERLA and her daughter, who is also has this the past of her mother is something she experiences through her, and she's also between the languages and between the cultures. So you also tell in the film with the story that through language, because her daughter wants to speak German only. Yes, maybe you want to talk a little bit about it also.
Yeah, but this is something very common everywhere. I talked yesterday to a translator at the festival. She's from Iran and she has 2 daughters, but they live in France. And she said she's talking to them, but they are not talking back in Farsi, just in French. And I think it's everywhere the same. Maybe not with every language, because there are some languages, there are good foreigners and there are bad foreigners. So or bad, you know what I mean? It's like people from Eastern Europe or from different parts of the world are not that welcomed, so you are embarrassed talking in public your mother tongue. So for me it was always like that. When I sometimes got a cell phone when I was 12 or 13, my mother called me in the metro, and I was talking German, and she was so sad about it. So I think that resonates a lot also nowadays. So
yeah, sure, I can imagine this. Yeah, and this also changes this relationship. Changes through.
It's a fight always between them. Yeah.
Yeah, also we'll get into the mother figure topic, but I want to ask also Maria about, which I was thinking in your film, about social class, which is also a big part of the film, but because your protagonist is also feeling ashamed of her class and her status, her finances, and yeah, I just found it very very strong. In this case, we can use the word strong in the film, to have also this very nuanced portrayal of different parts of society, and how you wrote the different dialogues and conveyed these scenes, and also the dialogues between many men, like which just stay together. So maybe you could tell us a bit about how you worked with the actors on that, or also other thoughts you have on it.
Yeah, it was interesting when it comes to shame, because the whole movie is about a woman who had a lot of drama and problems because she couldn't talk about this topic because of shame, and she couldn't get help. And yeah, now we are 120 years later, and when we talked, so we finished the film and we talked about all these things you do, like poster and all the texts you write. We had a lot of discussions, like this marketing stuff, a lot of discussions, how much can we tell about this woman who killed her child. So it was a lot about the words like murder, dying child, we can't do that. And it was so like unbelievable that 120 years later we're still having these conversations and fear that this character did something shameful. It's till these times where you have to be careful about such a character, a female character. And yeah, when it comes to directing, the interesting thing for me was the main actors, where they had, of course, dialogue. We don't say today anymore about women. So it was, they felt like wrong when they have to say that. But in these times, it was totally right to say that. So like, women cannot work as lawyer, And it was so interesting because all the actors came into like this ironic attitude and creating a distance from the personal aspect to the character. So we really had to work on, yeah, this is really your opinion, and it's okay because we have to show these times, and in these times it was like that. So go into that. So it was interesting to see how much we changed. We talked different, and also it was interesting how less we changed.
Yeah, and what you say about framing the film as, or the protagonist as murder or not, I just thought that if the film would be promoted as a thriller, or she would be a psychopath, then it would be all right, probably, then would fit in the categories, because we know mother figures who are like these crazy mother figures, or we have these very, the ones that fit into what we expect from motherhood, being caring, and that is the most important.
Right, yeah, yeah.
Sashi, you also, you said you thought about this role of the mother and the mother figure a lot when you created your movie. And yeah, I was wondering, like, because it takes, of course, many years to write a screenplay and to do the movie, also how this view maybe changed for you, or how you perceive mother figures in cinema now, because you got so much into it, or was it already before that you said, it disturbs me how these figures are always shown? And
no, I think for me for me it was really through the film. So I have to say that I was very influenced by the opinion in this world, but now I'm tired of it, and also I met so many women during this whole process, and they begin to. But I have the feeling that especially mothers or mothers in film, filmmakers, you know, are talking about it. Because you know, with feminism, it's a thing. So you have feminism when you have feminists who are not mothers but filmmakers, and they are fighting for their right to make films and be equally paid and have the same chances as their male colleagues. But then there are let's say the filmmakers who have children, and I think it's a complete different fight, or you know, because it's. When we were editing, Joanna Skrinzi, the editor of PERLA, she has 2 children, and we were editing, and and in the other editing rooms there were male directors, and they could come and go whenever they wanted, you know. And we were like, okay, I have to go to kindergarten. Okay, no, and then we got a call from kindergarten that your child is sick, and this is also, you know, it's a thing. It takes so much of your time, of your also creativity. When there was a holiday when we edited once, and everyone in the office said, "Oh, have a nice holiday," and we started laughing, because everyone who has children knows, okay, it's not the holiday because the kindergarten is closed and you have to take care, and you cannot, and you want to work on the film, like when you are really into it and you have so great ideas and you want to try them out, but you cannot. I'm not complaining, so I think this is also a very small, a thin line, because then the shaming comes again. But it was your decision. You wanted to have a child. Do you even love your child? Why? You know, there are so many questions, and I also wanted to say, because you were talking about shame. In my film, it's also a lot about shame and sexual abuse. So yeah, I was thinking again about the Pellicot case, and that shame has to change the sides. Yeah. But not only in this case, in so many.
Yeah, and like you say, to talk about things, like if you talk about how what goes wrong in the workplace or wherever, that it's already something that we have to do, to share these stories. And yeah.
Because it's a big relief when people are talking about it and you realize, oh, okay, they're thinking the same way, they have the same struggles as I do. So I'm not an evil person, so I'm not a bad mother, because I want to do films and I want to have all of this and not have a bad conscience all the time. So, and PERLA doesn't, sorry.
No, don't apologize. Yeah, and what other challenges do you or did you face for this film, maybe in particular, being a woman and being questioned in decisions, or yeah, was there something that stayed in your memory?
As I said, it was really during the script writing process, when there were many voices, and it were female, male, young, old, people I really care about, and they said, oh, she's unsympathetic. No, she's not a sympathetic character. You have to be careful. But that, I think, it was the only thing. But I have the tendency to romanticize the past, so I don't remember it anymore. No, it was doing this film was great. I loved it. Yeah.
Yeah, and you also had a big travel already. Like, I just want to say also, you just came from France, and you were really had to jet set somehow the last weeks. Yeah, shake. So we're glad we have you here. And also, Maria, you had quite a journey. And I was also wondering about your team, or also we had a little bit about talk about this beforehand, like how you put together your team, or maybe you didn't have the decision 100% in every case, but yeah, how you worked on this and what kind of discussions did you have around this putting together your team?
I had an amazing team, and they were all really into the project, helping out and doing a lot. We had a lot of pressure because we had not so much time to shoot this film, and everyone was super involved and helpful. So this was just an amazing experience, and I'm really grateful for that. And so I'm a person who is quite loyal to team members and people I work with. When you find your creative family, I keep them as long as I can. And so I can just say it was a huge and amazing experience for that. But yeah, on some screenings, I'm asked in the Q&A, why didn't I choose an all-female crew? In this case, I couldn't choose everyone, so it was really tight to make this film. I had 6 months from the offer to the first day of shooting, so it was a lot of work. But I think, yeah, this is not the way it has to go, that we say, okay, only because you're a female director, you just work with a female crew. You have to see the people, the person, and this is important, because I always think sometimes when I get an offer, someone sends me a script and they call me and say, yeah, because we want a woman to direct this, or we need a woman in the team. And I'm like, please don't call me because I'm a woman, call me because you like my work and want to work with me. I'm not sure, to be honest, if a man is called. I'm not sure if a man ever gets a call, here's a script because you're a man. And I think this is the way we have to go and find the people, not the gender, the people, and really go into why do you want to work with that particular person. And yes, and this is always, we all have this, we are responsible for so many things. Like as a writer, I think I'm responsible for all the female actors to get interesting roles and characters. So it couldn't be that so many older women don't get jobs anymore, or they are sidekicks, or women always are talking about, oh, I'm in love with someone. So I think it's really important to find your voice, find your team, find your people, no matter which gender. Find the individual you want to work with, and take it serious what you're doing, that you're creating jobs when you're writing also. Find these people and give them a platform to shine and to fulfill your ideas of characters with life.
Yeah, I think this is very important what you say also, that because you have your core team and people which you probably agree on baselines of viewpoints, of approaches, of how you see the world, and in the case of feminism, that they're not misogynist, would to be like the top baseline. No, so really to talk about the things, I guess, because this is also part of how you get to know your team, and I guess bring the people together that bring the best out of your work. Yeah, and I wonder how it was with you, or if you have similar thoughts on that, or also reactions like Maria had, like questions like that from the audience.
No, I totally agree with you. I never had these questions, and it's funny because I think no one would ever ask a man, why don't you have an all-male team? And good luck with that. If you had an all-male team, I think it wouldn't be that funny during the shooting, because I think it's about the balance. So there are studies that not to force the team to be 50-50, but it has to be done somehow. So I think it is important. Of course, you have to choose the best people for your project, or the ones you can really good you can work with. But also, it's important to have this balance. I think it's a complete different set if you have female, when you have the balance. So yeah.
Yeah, and also what we already talked about is this, what you said, like if the team would be only male, then what about these, yeah, and what about these jobs that also mostly women do, like assistant director, and I mean, this is, or yeah, like jobs that are still in an, dominated by one gender, let's say. Yeah.
I wanted to say another thing. What I experienced is that, for example, on set, when we had a Steadicam operator who was there just 2 days, and I'm really not that vain, but nobody sits on the director's chair. You don't do it. I also don't put my stuff on the camera. How is it called?
The camera and the,
yeah.
the things around.
So you don't do it. And he was, and I said, and he was like, yeah, wait, I have to check something. He would never do this with a man. And also now, like 1 week ago, I was at a festival, and there was a male director, and it was the opening of the festival, and he was very nice and blah blah blah. So I'm not talking about all male directors are evil or something. No, but he comes in a complete different way. He takes the stage, and I'm like, yeah. I mean, I'm not shy. I'm loud. Also, I speak my mind, but it's really different. And I asked myself, I want to have that too. I want to come into a room and take the room for me and be so überzeugt, convinced of everything what I am. But I'm not that. But I would love to be. And I see it with all the male directors that but of course they grew up as men, and yeah, I hate that.
I agree also. I feel the same. And Maria was also nodding. Yeah, this is still, I mean, we're laughing, but this is still, yeah.
But what can I do? What can I change?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. We have, something from, yeah.
Just for a second. So I saw you three before, and you completely owned it. So I would think it's just in your head, maybe. Because for me, as a also writer, I saw you and I was like, okay, they got it. So I don't know if maybe he had such a big ego, but for others, I don't see it if I see you.
But it was no. I think you can analyze it when you see how the other men, and I'm really talking about the men, but also the women. It was in Taiwan, are reacting to him. We were introduced because they do it. They introduce you. They introduced us to everyone, the mayor, and it was very Asian. And I was like his sidekick, but I was in the same competition as he was. So I just, they see a man, they see me. I'm always the actress everywhere. It's like, and what are you doing? You're an actress? No, I would be the worst actress in the world. But so it's about the looks also. When you have, sorry, I will stop, right? When there's a male director who dresses cool, and looks good and takes care of himself, he's just really cool. But when a woman does it, I'm what am I? I'm not arrogant. It's vanity, and so I have to be stupid, and yeah, and it's.
I understand, it probably was also because it was Asian, and it's also different.
But it's everywhere, really. They are different. They are.
I can just say from my perspective.
Yeah.
I saw you guys, and I didn't have one moment where I thought like, oh, she's not owning the stage.
Okay.
Okay, so we're good. we have that's good for appearance and feelings are sometimes not going together, but maybe it will be more like that in the future. are there other reactions from the audience, not about our appearance maybe, but also some questions, or also maybe some of you saw the film already, you have something to add to the conversation, some thoughts? If not, we will continue. Okay, yes, we have one here.
Hi, I just have one question for Maria, because I heard, so you first had a short film and then got this offer for this feature. How did that feel like? Did you have any doubts or difficulties from going from short film to feature directly?
Yeah, to be honest, I was so nervous because it's a pirate piece, so it has a huge budget, and I was like, don't fuck this up, just don't. Because it was interesting, as you said, with the short film, I got an Academy Award nomination, so a lot of things changed in my life suddenly, and I talked to people I never thought they will talk to me, anyone in my life. So a lot of things happened, but not in my own country. In my own country, I got one call from one production company after, I know some are here. Hi. One call from one production company after the Oscars, so we want to know you, who are you? We are curious how you're working. Because for me, it was a big step, so I got a lot of calls from US companies. Suddenly, I had this US agent, and things happened, and I was like, wow, what's going on here? I have no idea. So it was important to me to make a feature film in my country where I understand the language, where I'm safe, where I know how it works, where I've been on sets and working as so many different things. So suddenly came this offer, and it was huge. And also it was so fast, as I said, 6 months from the call to the shooting and rewrite the script. So I accepted that I have no life and no sleep because, don't fuck this up, because I knew a lot of people were watching, did she just had luck with the Academy thing, and maybe the crew was good and supported her. And I felt like I have to prove now under really hard circumstances. And of course I was so afraid, but don't show it. And sometimes I was there and thought, okay, I cannot deal with this anymore because it's huge. But it was so much fun. The thing is, I love filmmaking so much. I love movies. I love watching movies. I love the people who are making movies. I love this whole process so much. And when it comes to the fun part and forget about, okay, what happens when you make a mistake. So I was afraid that no one will take me serious because I knew I have so experienced people on this set with a lot of movies in their backpack. And my biggest fear was that they're thinking, what is this little girl doing here? She has no idea. And this just didn't happen. And of course it was like, okay, so many shooting days, do I have all the power to do that? But it was like jumping in this cold water because fight for your dreams, and what happens? You make a bad movie and the world is turning around the next day too. So I think everyone has to relieve all this, and for me it's always important, and I'm really watching out for the people who are working with the ego thing, because we're all working on a vision, and working in a team is amazing. And when it's not about egos and this was my idea, and just put everything on the side and have this fun making movies. We're so lucky that we have this amazing job. So yeah, I always try to come into this mood and forget about the fear, but it doesn't work so well always. So it sounds easy, but it's not.
We have another question.
Well, I don't really have a question. I'm one of the Swiss producers who didn't call you Maria, sorry. But we have too many projects. No, that's not the reason. No, I just wanted to say, I know it was very difficult to finance this film and a lot of struggling. And I watched it last year at the Zurich Film Festival, and it's just fantastic what you did. And with your cast, it's an amazing film, and you really proved that you can do it. And also like showed the Swiss film society, or how to put it, that you're able to do that. And I know, I mean, everybody's talking and everything. So, but as you said, you were very worried about it, and maybe this is also quite female that you did, because a lot of men wouldn't have done that. They are just pretending they can do it, and you had your sleepless nights probably. No, congratulations, and also to you, Alexandra. I didn't see PERLA yet. I know the script.
Tomorrow.
It was wonderful. Yes, I should. And I just saw the trailer, and it's fantastic. So congratulations to both of you, and just move on. So it's no question, just, yeah, it's great you're here.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Your films.
Thank you.
And also Julia Buchmann, main actress of FRIEDA'S Case, is here, so the compliments also go to you.
And Rachel Braunschweig, who is also in the film.
Very nice. I mean, now we're talking about the productions, and I'm wondering if you already have some future plans that you can talk about, or if it's not yet.
Yeah, I'm writing at the moment on 2 projects. So yeah, this is what I love, going home in my room with just people who are living in my head. I love that. Yeah, hopefully one of these 2 ideas is going for the next time. I don't know, we'll see, but yeah, I like these female characters. I like true stories, so this is both female-driven and based on true events. So I really love that. So because I think maybe it's because so many women did important things, and they were just not seen. And I like giving them this platform to be seen and heard or shown.
Yeah, yeah. This also deserves an applause. And Sashi, now I also have to ask you the question: how it's with you? Do you already have plans you can reveal something about, or?
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure. I have the feeling that I have to be very quick. But I'm also writing right now, and and I thought that I will write due this whole traveling. Haha! I took my iPad with me, which has like 10 kilograms. Yeah. You know, traveling with it, never opened it. Of course. Just for our Zoom. So I was very naive, but yeah. So the next project I was thinking about when we finished the editing on PERLA, and I thought, okay, no, the next one has to be, you know, easy and something nice. And I was really, of course, it cannot be, because I'm not easy and I'm not so always so nice. No, I am. No, but I just really wanted to do something was Leichtes, something light, and then. After the summer, and there were 3 ideas, and then after the summer, and when we began after Rotterdam and also in Austria with the release, and I was doing Q&As, and then just realized, no, you cannot do this light one, because I just love talking about politics and about society and communities and the war. Most of all, so this one is also saying sorry. It's also because there are some Austrian funders now. It's again a historic film, set in 1947 with a female protagonist who returns back after she survived the Shoah. So it's again very, yeah, I'm afraid of it a little bit.
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it, and also I can imagine there will be also challenging times, but in a good sense. So you grow with your work and have new experiences. And yeah, I don't find it naive to take the iPad with you. I find it more motivated, always motivated.
I was thinking a lot about it, yeah. but not writing.
And there we have one more comment or question.
Hi. I was wondering, in your writing process, when you're developing these strong female characters, which you wanted to get back to later, how do you develop male characters in comparison to the female characters without sort of like going into the cliches of all men are assholes, or all men need to save the woman somehow? Like, how do we, I think when writing about women, how do we think about the men also in a feminist sense? Because when we talk about feminism, it's not just about the women, it's also about the men. So how do you approach male characters?
For me, it's like I think that I have to develop every character in the same way. And for me, it's important that, for example, in my movie, we have 4 characters: a child, 2 men, and PERLA. And it was important for me that you understand every one of them. So he's the let's say the antagonist. He's not evil. He was my most favorite character because he had so much struggle, and he didn't have the tools to deal with his trauma, and the other one had. But I think it's always a question of balance, also with children. I have in my film, she's 10 years old, and I would never, or at least I try. I don't want to write a children's character and then everyone says, it's the children in the film, it's the child in the film. Because when I remember when I was 10, I was already very and quirky and you know, like this. I didn't change a lot. So children have strong personalities, but most of the time you don't see them. They're just the sidekicks, as women also, and also male protagonists. So I think we have to be really strict with ourselves as writers and to hinterfragen, to question each one of their actions. I love writing right now. I would really like to write.
Let's go back to the iPad. Yeah, I think as you said, it's something very. The most important thing is balance, because I'm watching what's going on in the real life. So I think the worst thing you can do is when it comes to a female character-driven film, or film is very fast, a female film, just because you're a female director. So the worst thing you can do is saying the men are bad and the women are good. So in our movie we have bad behavior of women, we have bad behavior of men, and we have good behavior of men. So I think it's really important to show that the mindset is more important than, okay, the actress get the good dialogue and the man get the bad dialogue. So when I made the short film, it was about bride kidnapping in Kyrgyzstan, so marriage by force, and it's of course a very male-driven country, and a lot of people expected that the husband who forced her to this marriage is bad, but he wasn't, because he's also victim of the time. So be really honest with these characters and who has which opinion and who is every character and where can he or she go. I think this is very important.
We have 5 more minutes, so if there's something more from the audience, yeah, we have one more.
Thank you. I just wanted to say something, Alexandra, to you about what you said before with these male directors who like step out into the world like they own it. I just had to think about it, and just I realized that must be so tough, and I always like feel the same way, but sometimes I have the thought that there's like a growing number of women and maybe also men who also find that kind of embarrassing, and they see how people are overstepping and it's more like annoying. And then when I see a woman like you who's clearly not like over the top overstepping her position and she's just authentic, to me this seems more competent actually. So maybe that's just one positive thing, and it might get more over time, but I also think even if you behave really like you seem really competent, there's always going to be so many men who make you feel like you didn't behave competent even though you did, so that's not on you.
I'm working on it, but I think we all know when as filmmakers that you have, or at least with me it's the thing, you have these times when you feel, oh my God, I'm so good. The scene was the scene I wrote, and then the next day it's completely different. Like today I felt like this, and yesterday like this. So I think it's all the time, and maybe it's with everyone. But I see it with women because they talk about it. But I have many directors, male director friends. And they just don't show it the way. Maybe it's with that. I don't know.
But isn't it so much more confident to talk about it?
Yes, I think we have to talk because it also comforts me if I know, okay, you feel the same way. So okay, I'm not crazy and I'm not a psychopath or not a total psychopath, you know. Yeah. Thank you.
There's something more to add by somebody. Yes, here in the third row.
It's really a thing.
Yeah. I'm sorry. So, oh God, I hate this. Alexandra, you choose to take something of your heritage to do a movie. So I'm also East European half, so I know it's difficult. Also the reflection of your family is difficult. If you use your own story, it's hard, it's tough. So how did you stay strong, not backing down to tell your story? Because I know sometimes when you do your own story or parts of your own story, productions say, yeah, this is very close from you. So I would like to know how you defended your project, or did you have to defend?
Yes, I had. Within my family, it wasn't a big discussion because, as I said before, my family speaks about everything. So they just talk about it. That's why I made this film. But we are a co-production with Slovakia. It's an Austrian-Slovak co-production. And when we were submitting for the funding in Slovakia, I had a discussion with my producers who really understood PERLA and the whole story. They supported me a lot, really. So they were great with this. But I told them, okay, we should be really careful when we go to Slovakia to the funding, because I think that they will say this and this and this and this. And exactly that happened, because in my film there is a scene where men are, you saw it in the trailer just a few seconds, on Easter Monday, men come to the women's houses, mostly virgins or unmarried women, take them out and throw them into the river or pour water on them, and then they beat them with branches. And it's still a custom which is happening in Slovakia, and that is also, it's in the film and it was in the script in every version. And then I had it was during the pandemic, the Zoom with the committee of the funding in Slovakia, and they were really pissed about the scene because they said you cannot show this because everyone in the world will think that Slovakia, that we are barbarians. And so it was a big discussion, but for me it was clear, I will not, why? I mean, it's happening. You can just go on YouTube and type it in, and you will see many, many videos from private persons showing exactly this. So, and we didn't get it then, so I had to make some adaptations. Yeah, but I'm very happy that they funded us at the end. But this was tough, and also for me emotionally, and I think this was one of the toughest moments in the whole process of making this film, was when they said to me that you are not a Slovakian anymore. You don't live here anymore. You don't know it. I felt like I don't know, I felt like a motherless child, because why? You know, I don't know. I'm still getting emotional when I think about it, because I had the feeling that I don't belong there. I very much have the feeling that I belong to Austria. Also, I will stop right now. I'm talking always too much. But I just realized that maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, for the first time, which is so embarrassing for me, that I was never thankful that Austria took me in as a foreigner. For me, it was always like I'm the victim, and I had a hard time in school, and because I couldn't speak the language. Okay, now I'm getting to another thing. Yeah, but so, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you also for sharing it, and I guess we would all want to hear more about it, but maybe we will either see in future films or approach you directly afterwards, or in any other situation that's possible in the next days. And I think we also have to finish our talk. And I thank you so much, the two of you, and
Thanks
also
for
the
having
audience.
Thank you for asking us these questions. And also maybe we could say our films are being shown, mine tomorrow and yours.
Also tomorrow and on the 5th, but I think it's sold out. But if you have an accreditation, there are tickets.
Yeah, and if all that doesn't work, you can watch it on the portal of the festival after the festival thing for a few days or so. Yeah. So yeah, please watch it.
Thank you.
Thank you.